Welcome to the Online Digital Marketing Podcast. We'll be discussing marketing strategies, trends, and tips that will help your business succeed in the digital age. Every episode, we'll be interviewing industry professionals and providing valuable insights on how to leverage digital tools for maximum engagement and ROI. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the latest trends in online marketing.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. You've given us quite the stack of sources, notes, articles, research, and our job is to sort of cut through all that and pull out the really key insights for you. Think of it as your shortcut.
Your shortcut to getting genuinely up to speed on a topic. And today, we're diving into something pretty fundamental, I think, for anyone communicating, anywhere, really. Yeah. Effective copywriting strategies.
Right. Specifically drawing on principles from Robert Bly's work, but looking at how they apply now in the digital age based on the source material we've got here.
Exactly. The sources synthesize a lot of that classic thinking. So our mission, basically, is to pull out those core ideas that make writing persuasive. The stuff that actually gets results.
We want to help you understand what really counts when you're putting words down, whether that's on a web page, an email, whatever it might be.
Yeah, because honestly, if you're writing a landing page or maybe an ad, an email, even just a social media post, getting people to actually do something based on your words, that's crucial.
Totally non-negotiable. So this deep dive is all about figuring out what makes copy connect and ultimately convert.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's jump right in. What's the foundational idea behind good copywriting according to these sources, the starting point?
Well, what's really interesting is how simple Bly's core concept is as presented here. Copywriting is basically salesmanship, but in print, or, salesmanship digitally now.
Salesmanship.
Yeah. It's not about showing off how clever you are or using big words. It's about selling.
So the main goal isn't just creative expression. It's literally closing a deal or prompting an action. That sounds very direct.
It is, exactly. Your number one job is persuading the reader to take a specific action you want them to take. Every single word, sentence structure, graphic, whatever, it should all be pushing towards that one goal.
Okay, so everything serves that purpose.
Always. It's a means to a very clear end.
Got it. Okay. And the sources mention a structure for this written sales process, something called the motivating sequence. How does that work?
Right, that raises a key question. How do you actually lead someone through that sales argument in writing? When you're not physically there. The motivating sequence gives you that framework. It's broken down into 5 steps. Designed to mirror how someone might naturally think before they decide to act on something.
All right, lay them out for us. What's step 1?
Step 1, grab their attention. Simple as that. If your headline or maybe the first sentence or an image doesn't stop them scrolling, well, nothing else matters, does it?
Yeah, you lose them right at the start. Game over. That's the hook.
Totally. Step 2. Identify the reader's problem or maybe their desire. You have to show them you get their pain point or their need or what they're hoping for. You're tapping into the conversation they're already having in their own head.
Connect with their reality, their struggle or dream. Makes sense.
Then, step 3, position your product or service, whatever, as the clear solution to that specific problem or desire you just talked about.
So this is where you bring in what you offer, but specifically framed as the answer to their need.
Precisely. Step 4, proof. You can't just say you're the solution. You need testimonials, maybe some data, case studies, guarantees, anything that builds credibility, shows you can actually deliver.
Right. You got to earn that trust. Show, don't just tell.
Exactly. And finally, step 5, the call to action. Tell them exactly clearly what you want them to do next. And ideally, give them a reason to do it now. Add some urgency if possible.
Okay, so attention, problem, desire, solution, proof, and call to action. It feels like a logical flow, a chain reaction almost. Do the sources talk about what happens if you, miss a step?
Oh, absolutely. It's critical. Miss step 1, nobody even sees the rest. Miss step 2, your solution in step 3 feels completely irrelevant to them.
Right.
No proof in step 4. Then step 3 just sounds like, empty promises and no clear call to action. All that effort you put in just fizzles out. It leads nowhere.
It really is a sequence then. Each part depends on the one before it. That makes perfect sense. Now, speaking of grabbing attention, step 1, Bly's 4 U's for headlines get mentioned a lot in this material. What are those 4 U's?
Yeah, this is where it gets really practical, applying that first step. A really strong headline, according to this framework, should aim to be urgent, unique, ultra-specific, and useful.
Urgent, unique, ultra-specific, useful. Okay, unpack that a bit. How does that actually look? Maybe give us an example.
Okay, sure. Let's use a kind of classic example that illustrates it well. Double your website traffic in 30 days. Think about it. It's urgent in 30 days. It's unique promises a distinct big result, doubling traffic. It's ultra specific, double your website traffic. And it's obviously useful, right? Who doesn't want more traffic?
Clear benefits.
Now contrast that with something vague like great software for websites. It just falls flat. There's no urgency. It's totally generic, not specific about what it does for you. And the usefulness is really unclear.
Wow. Yeah, putting them side by side makes it obvious. The 4 U's force you to focus on promising something tangible and valuable.
Exactly. A specific, valuable, maybe even time-bound result. It hooks the reader because it promises something concrete for them.
Which leads directly into another big theme I saw. Focusing the copy relentlessly on the reader, not just talking about the product or the company.
Yes, this is absolutely fundamental in the Bly approach as the sources present it. It needs a real shift in mindset. Instead of always writing, we offer this, or our product has, you constantly frame it from the you perspective.
Start sentences with you.
Often, yes. Or talk directly about their problems, their aspirations, what they stand to gain, or what pain they can avoid.
So instead of saying like, our groundbreaking software includes 50 innovative features.
Right. You flip it. You say, imagine you could save 10 hours every week because workflows are automated. That's what you get with, see? You're emphasizing the benefit to them. You're hitting their needs, their desires. Features only matter in terms of how they help the reader.
That's a huge difference. It's like empathy applied to writing. Now, these principles are classic, but the sources talk about adapting them for today's world, digital ads, emails, websites. What are the key adjustments?
Well, the core ideas, salesmanship, the sequence, reader focus, they still hold true. But how you execute changes because, people read differently online. Digital copy generally needs to be tighter, more concise, and crucially, super easy to scan.
Scannable. Yeah, that's massive with everyone scrolling so fast. How do you actually make copy scannable?
Use really short paragraphs, sometimes just one sentence. Use bullet points whenever it makes sense, or even just structure sentences so they feel like bullet points. Use bolding to make key phrases or benefits jump out. Break things up with clear subheadings.
Anything that helps someone just glance at it and get the main idea quickly?
Exactly. Help them skim effectively.
And what about longer digital stuff, like, say, a landing page? Does the approach change?
The sources suggest you should probably repeat your call to action, especially on longer pages. Don't make them hunt for the button way down at the bottom.
Give them multiple chances to act as they get convinced.
Right. And always think mobile first. Short sentences work better on small screens. Clear visual breaks are essential. And make sure the buttons are big enough for someone to easily tap with their thumb.
That mobile point feels critical, yet so often missed. Okay, another thing that really jumped out from this material was the insistence on revision and testing. It's definitely not a write it once and you're done kind of thing, is it?
Oh, not at all. Far from it. The sources really hammer this home. Your first draft is just, a first draft. It's the starting point. Effective copy needs ruthless editing.
Ruthless editing, I like that.
Yeah. Cut every word that isn't working hard. Sharpen the language. Make absolutely sure every single sentence is pushing the reader towards that end goal, that action.
And then, after the editing.
And you test it relentlessly. A/B test headlines. Test different calls to action. Test opening lines. Even test layouts or images. You have to see what actually works with real users, which, brings up the whole question of measurement.
Right. How do you know if the copy is actually effective based on these principles? Is it just a feeling?
No, definitely not subjective. The ultimate measure, according to this material, is simple. Does it convert? Does it get the sale, the click, the sign up? The principle is pretty stark. If it doesn't convert, it's not good copy.
Wow.
Yeah. Your copy isn't really done when you finish typing. It's only done when it's successfully doing the job you set out for it to do, driving that specific result.
That's a really powerful results-first way of looking at writing. Okay, but what about SEO? In the digital world, you need keywords for people to even find your stuff. How does this persuasive reader-focused style fit with search optimization?
That's a really practical point for online copy. The sources definitely acknowledge SEO is important. You need to get found, right? But they stress it should never mess up the readability or the persuasiveness for the actual human reading it.
So avoid just stuffing keywords in awkwardly.
Please, yes, avoid that completely. Don't force weird phrases just for the sake of keywords. Instead of saying, best CRM software for sales, talk naturally about how a great CRM, there's your keyword, solves their specific problems, like maybe closing deals faster or keeping customer info organized.
Make it sound natural.
Exactly. The priority is always the human reader and the persuasive flow. SEO should support that by bringing the right people to the page. You use tools to find the keywords, sure, but the writing itself has to serve that salesmanship goal first and foremost.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the main strategies we've pulled from the sources. First, the core idea. Copywriting is salesmanship in written form.
Right. Then, structure your argument using those 5 steps of the motivating sequence: attention, problem, desire, solution, proof, action.
Got it. And craft those crucial headlines using the 4 U's. Urgent, unique, ultra-specific, and useful.
And always, always focus your words on the reader's benefits, their desires, not just listing your product's features.
Then adapt all this for digital. Be concise, make it scannable, think mobile first, use clear calls to action.
And don't forget the absolute necessity of ruthless revision and constant testing. Remember, the ultimate measure is results conversions, while of course naturally weaving in SEO so people can find you.
These really aren't just theories, are they? They feel like very actionable steps you can start applying right away to your own writing projects. And that core idea that copy isn't finished until it's actually working, until it's converting. That's a powerful way to think about it.
Yeah, it totally shifts the focus from just like the act of writing to the outcome it creates.
So thinking about how fast things change, online platforms, attention spans, you name it, how does that core principle, copy isn't done until it converts, how does that challenge us? How does it push us to keep testing, keep refining, keep adapting our approach so our words actually land and persuade, whatever the new environment looks like?
That's a great question to mull over.
Definitely something to think about next time you're staring at that blank page or screen.
Ready to take your online business to the next level? Subscribe to our digital marketing podcast and then join our Accountability for Success Mastermind. With expert advice from industry leaders, you'll gain knowledge and insights that will help you succeed in today's digital marketing world. From social media strategies to search engine optimization, we have all the tools you need. Learn from successful entrepreneurs and take control of your online success. Join the Accountability for Success Mastermind now at bit.ly/AFSM podcast.